Is Jackson State being underrated going into the 2024 season? Let's talk about it and what's going on in the SWAC after the bumper. Stay tuned. What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsyJr. This is the Victor Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYJr, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because I upload all the time. Because I am back. If you missed my welcome back video, it talked about the fact that our family expanded by one. Me and my lovely lady Brianna had a baby, young Julian. I got different work stuff going on, but now I'm back. I got my life finally cleared up. I'm back and I'm here to talk about HBCU football. And today I'm talking about the preseason rankings that had JSU finishing third in the SWAC East. Not just third in the SWAC, but third in the SWAC East behind both Alabama State and FAMU. Now, let's not get it twisted. I wholeheartedly believe Alabama State should have been picked preseason number one. I'm not even going to fake the funk there. I think what they've been able to bring back, Eddie Robinson in year 3, Coach Eddie Robinson in year 3, and having Andrew Body and the potential of what Andrew Body could be, I definitely understand them being number one. What I didn't understand is the fact that I think it should have been closer. And I think Jackson State should have been ranked ahead of FAMU. Let me go ahead and show you the SWAC rankings, preseason rankings, if you have not seen them. This is according to the SWAC. So this was a predicted order of finish in the SWAC East. As you see there, Alabama State received the most first place votes, 11. FAMU received 6, even though nobody knows who their quarterback is, and they made a ton of changes, including Willie, obviously their coach Willie Simmons, going on to take a job at Duke. And then here, finishing in third, is Jackson State with Alabama A&M, Bethune-Cookman, who I think could be a lot better than people are expecting, and Mississippi Valley State finishing last. We'll talk about the SWAC West at another time because I'm interested in some of this that's going on here as well. But Jackson State coming in preseason third in the SWAC East, only getting 2 votes compared to 6 to FAMU and 11 first place votes for Alabama State. Now, here's the thing. Now, first of all, let's point out why some of the coaches or the media, whoever, I can't even remember who did this poll, why they would pick Jackson State to finish third. Well, they lost their offensive and defensive coordinators. That, to a lot of people, I mean, that's a lot. I'm not going to act like it's a lot. They got smacked around by the transfer portal. Jalen Hughes, Devontae Davis, other folks decided to move on, hit the portal. That Seven McGee that contributed to last year's team. Now, last year's team went 7-4. It wasn't the 12-0 or 11-0 team, 11-1 teams from previous, but they were a solid 7-4. And if they were able to keep those guys like Jalen, like Seven, like others, I think maybe you get more respect. But I think the loss of the 2 coordinators, 2 really good coordinators at that, is why you see them kind of coming in there at third. What I don't understand, what I think people are undervaluing, though, is the impact of quarterback Jacobian Morgan. Jacobian Morgan didn't start every game for JSU last year. Jacobian Morgan was a guy that, essentially got there late for the team. He got there late and then didn't start the first couple of games. Jason Brown, that's another guy who they technically lost. Jason Brown got the start, killed it in the SWAC MEAC Challenge, and eventually it kind of didn't work. But then Jacobian Morgan came in, and made plays. Jacobian Morgan was a guy until he wasn't, meaning he got hurt. Jason Brown had to come in once again, and the offense just wasn't the same with Jason Brown that it was with Jacobian Morgan. But if you forgot what Jacobian Morgan was like for JSU last year, Jacobian Morgan had 10 touchdown passes to only 1 interception. Jacobian Morgan averaged only 140 yards passing per game, but once again had a 150 over 6 games, a 150 QB rating. Jacobian Morgan completed 67% of his passes. The young man can play, and now he's had a full off season. He didn't have to come in late. He's not in the QB battle starting from behind. He's got the full off season. He's got his coach, now TC Taylor's calling the plays. He's running the offense. So you got direct line of communication to the coach, full off season, full another year under your belt with this offensive system, and you're the guy. I think Jacobian Morgan could end up being SWAC Player of the Year. I think that highly of the Syracuse transfer that he could end up becoming SWAC Player of the Year. Now, Miles Crawley from Grambling State, I think, is the best quarterback going into the season. But I would not be surprised if by the end of the season, people understand how good Jacobian Morgan is. And that alone, knowing who JSU's quarterback is versus not knowing who FAMU's is, to me, that alone is enough to have JSU above the Rattlers. With all the losses that the Rattlers took, all the defections via the transfer portal, the losing of your head coach, the waiting for forever to name your head coach, and then having to figure out who the quarterback of the future is now that Jeremy Moosa's moved on, that to me alone should put JSU over FAMU. I get it. Alabama State had a lot of continuity. They got a lot of guys coming back. There's not a lot of turnover there down in Montgomery. So I get why they're number one. And you're adding an Andrew Body who, to me, hasn't lived up to the billing just yet, but that doesn't mean the talent isn't there. He's got one last year to really show, and maybe even another year if he gets a redshirt year, to show why he was so big coming into the SWAC his very freshman year, and the flashes of talent we've seen, we just haven't been able to see it be put together over the course of his career. But Jacobian Morgan alone, not to mention, you did lose your defense coordinator, but you promoted Coach Quinn, whose secondary led the nation in interceptions. So I don't know how much of a drop-off you're having there. Yes, your defense coordinator moved on. Yes, your offense coordinator moved on. But TC Taylor's a former quarterback, former OC, is a play caller. And at SWAC Media Day, he said, "Why are you taking over play calling?" He said, "Because I just want to. I just want to do it. I miss it. I want to get back into it." And Coach Quinn, whose secondary led the nation in interceptions, come from the same style of defense from Alcorn 2 years ago that led JSU last year. I don't know if you have much drop-off there. And Jacobian Morgan with a full offseason. Jacobian Morgan with an entire year under his belt with this offensive system, with this coach, with the way they want to play, building that connection with his outside playmakers like Fabian McCray. And Irv Mulligan coming back. Like, Irv Mulligan missed a ton of time last year due to injury. When Irv Mulligan played, he was arguably the best running back in the SWAC. He was him, Eaglin, some of the other ones, but Jarvian Howard, Irv Mulligan was right up there. I think people are sleeping on JSU and what they'll be able to do this upcoming season if they're able to put it all together. But I think the name that is going to have Jackson State at the top of the SWAC East fighting for that home SWAC championship game is Jacobian Morgan. I think their defense, the players that they're able to bring back, maintain, and the continuity, the style that they want to play will continue to work. Who they were able to bring in via freshman, transfer portal, etc. And that quarterback, who I think by the end of the season, we could be talking about Jacobian Morgan being the best quarterback in the SWAC. The transfer from Syracuse, the Mississippi native, is a dog. 10 touchdowns, only 1 interception in 6 games last year. What do you think he'll be able to do with an entire season under his belt? Freight train, 6'5", 230, 240, something like that. Huge. It's a big dude. And they may not want to run him as much because that's how he got hurt, running, because he runs through dudes. He's a big old dude and be running through folks. But keep that name. And I think the coaches, the media, I think they're sleeping on JSU and what they'll be able to do in the 2024 season, led by Coach TC Taylor and Jacobian Morgan at quarterback. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Is the rest of the SWAC sleeping on Jackson State, Coach Taylor and the Tigers? I think so. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Once again, my name is JeffLightsyJr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsyJr. YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up button. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell if you want to make sure you don't miss a video here on the channel, because we're back and we're pumping out content like no other, like never before. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Peace.